What up, what up, what up? Welcome back, everyone. In this video, I am going to be going over Palantir, ticker PLTR. I have received several requests for this ticker, so I am here to break it down for you guys. And for the record, I don't even know what Palantir does. I don't know what kind of company they are. All I am concerned about is what the chart is telling me. Remember, guys, this is not financial advice. Let's get to it. So here we are, Palantir. We are trading about 4% today. $330 billion market cap, guys. And last year in 2025, Palantir got put on the map. As you could see, it was trading dormant pretty much its whole trading career. And then in the beginning of 2025 to this year, or its peak, it squeezed just below 230% and it caught a lot of interest in traders. So I'm going to start this chart review off with a common theme we've been seeing in the market lately, and that is the good old Wyckoff distribution pattern, guys. And you could see this is clearly a Wyckoff distribution pattern. And where we are now is the last point of supply, guys. And typically in this point, that's where the supply takes over and it dominates. And then we have our final downtrend, as you can see here in phase E. So this comes into play later when we put all the charts together. So remember this, guys. And it's not a coincidence that a lot of these big stocks, even bigger than Palantir, are forming or in the midst of these Wyckoff events. And, that means, that kind of confirms the bearish market sentiment that we're already in. But now I'm going to throw some drawings on and let's get to it, guys. Okay, so where are we now, guys? Sorry. You could see today in the chart, we just closed this daily gap here. And after being rejected by this algo flip zone, which is from about 150 to 159. And when I say algo flip zone, you could see the price either get supported here or rejected. And you could see even here, we had a gap up and we had a gap up here as well, just to get out of this zone. And now we are below this zone. And if I put the indicators back on, we are trading below all of the daily EMA lines, guys. And they are crossing. And I don't know if you ever heard of the golden cross or whatever you want to call it, but typically when all the EMA lines cross, depending on where the stock is trading, it usually accelerates the downtrend or the uptrend. In this case, it would be the downtrend. And you can see we gap down below, but these gaps do leave us footprints for the future. So keep that in mind. Before I continue, if you're not familiar with my content, check me out, patreon.com/GainsKeeper Trading. I have a premium vault of tutorials, trading systems, load of large cap swing trades and breakout stocks, and once per week we go beyond the charts to focus on personal growth and personal awareness. That's my highest tier, the Master Keeper. Feel free to subscribe on YouTube, but my premium content is here, guys. All right, let's get back to it. So as I said before, we are trading under these EMA lines, and that is not in favor for the bulls currently as we sit. So the question is, what happens next with the stock? If I bring up the RSI, you can see we are oversold in the daily RSI. So if we do see a little bit of a recovery or a rally, there is a possibility we close these gaps. But you could see we also have resistance of the Ichimoku cloud in the daily chart that waits right on top of this flip zone. And I don't want to talk too much about the price to the upside because we are clearly in a downtrend now, but we have main resistance at 187.20. You could see we got rejected here multiple times, had to gap up. And there is a weekly gap here. So if we do see a rally, this is potential price goals, but I will make an update when necessary up there. But I am more concerned with prices to the downside, as we should be. And for that, we will take it to the weekly chart. And just like the Wyckoff distribution patterns amongst a bunch of stocks, you can also see, and in my past videos, a lot of these stocks in the weekly chart are getting compressed by this by their own respective RSI lines, and it is no coincidence that they are all ending around the same area from July to the beginning of September. And September is a bearish month, so keep that in mind as well. And that is if we stay compressed under this line. All right. So you can see we also are trading under the weekly EMA lines, which is not bullish at all. And the weekly 200 is a far distance away to provide support. So there is definitely room for downside here. So if we do continue this downtrend, the weekly RSI can get oversold And we may find support on this mini support line in this zone 130.39. That is a possibility, but to me, all signs point to favor this demand zone where we're coming around here at 107.96 to 121.03. And this stock is not particularly easy to define zones because you could see for this last year, it was basically just an uptrend. So you have to be very precise with your zones and calculate all your indicators and other features and tools to get these zones as precise as possible. And I'm going to show you why I think this zone is very likely to be hit. So you can see, first of all, this orange line here, we have a daily gap here, which sits right in our zone. I have a 1618 extension level from this last clean movement here. You can see it says Fibonacci retracement. This extension level provides support if there's chart, especially if there's chart structure behind it. And yes, we have chart structure behind it because it's in this demand zone. Let's get rid of that. We have support from the Ichimoku cloud on the weekly. You could see it's here, but you could see it's rising, and that would have to drop about 16% in the next 2 weeks. And you could say that's a lot for a big stock, guys, but you could see this stock has no problem doing that. 24% in 14 days, 28% in 3 weeks. You guys get the point. 16% in 14 days just happened here again. So that is very likely. And the weekly Ichimoku cloud, has strong support as well. So all these indicators are pointing towards the gap, the demand zone, the 618 retracement, the Ichimoku cloud. That would be a great spot, not financial advice, for a recovery in my eyes. And the icing on the cake for me, guys, I think we are in the midst of another pattern, which is rare, double pattern. And this is looking like, to me, a massive bull flag. And I'll make it clear for you guys with the Heckin SG, and I'll turn the indicators off. You could see we have our flag here, which is major uptrend, which is obvious. And now we are consolidating in this bull flag. And what do we see? If we have one more touch on this bottom support trend line, it lines up exactly where all our other indicators are pointing us in this demand zone. So, do your own due diligence. That Wyckoff distribution pattern is not over. There's still the phase E, which is the downtrend, phase D, whatever the hell it is. There is still that last supply downtrend. Put that all together, and this is looking like a golden opportunity in this zone for me for Palantir, guys. And if the market does crash more, we could find support on this gap at 96. I'll throw the indicators on so you can see, guys, and I'll go back to the regular candles here. You can see this, we have a gap here, which is still in play. So be careful of that, guys. If we do break this trend line support, and if the market really crashes bad, I have identified this crash zone at 72.11 to 82.33. So I'm interested to see how this pattern plays out. If this is really a bull flag, not. If it is, how bull flags work. It'll touch here, and then another big uptrend, make it blue look pretty, and then maybe that's when we start to close these upper prices and set new all-time highs, depending on the market sentiment, of course, guys. So keep that market sentiment in mind. This all revolves around that as well. And hope this update was helpful, and continue trading, guys.